All right, let's go ahead and get right to it, class. This is Miss Johnson. We're going to start this lesson with the essential question. How do I solve two-step equations with negative integers? This particular lesson is in our unit on solving two-step equations with positive and negative integers, and we're also solving equations with the distributive property. So we're going to go ahead and get right to this. Well, look who it is. When this little girl got older, she worked for people in the neighborhood, raking, taking out trash, and anything else to make money. She used what she learned in algebra to determine how many hours she had to work to make money for items that she wanted to buy, like a Sony Discman that she really wanted. Well, of course, this little girl is me. Think of sometimes when you had to work a certain number of hours to get something that you wanted. And I'm going to have you all share those ideas with me in the next Nearpod page. So let's go over the integer rules to remember. Because integers are important when we're solving these types of equations. You have to remember the rules because the negative numbers and positive numbers have certain rules that apply when we're adding and subtracting integers. So when we're adding integers, if they have the same signs, add and keep the sign. If they have different signs, subtract and keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value. Those are the adding rules. So what are the subtraction rules? So when you're subtracting integers, we literally say add the opposite. It's the additive inverse. And I know some of you guys learned keep, change, but it's really adding the opposite. So you keep the first number the same. The subtraction becomes addition, and the number to the right becomes its opposite. That's why it's called add the opposite. And then you just follow the same addition rules that we just previously spoke about. So multiplying and dividing integers, same signs is a positive answer. When they're different signs, this is a negative answer. Different signs is a negative answer. All right, so what are the steps for solving these two-step equations? Remember, when you're doing this, one of the most important things is to watch your signs. So step one is to isolate the variable by doing the inverse of addition or subtraction first. So when the problem has addition or subtraction, along with multiplication or division, you actually do the addition and subtraction first, and then you do the inverse of multiplication or division second. You have to simplify. That means do the integer operations correctly, and then go back and check your work to make sure that you're right. So let's go ahead and try one. So this particular equation is negative 3x plus 2 is equal to 23. So there are two operations in this problem. One is addition and the other one is multiplication. So we're going to do the inverse. And remember, you start with the addition first. So we're going to start by doing the opposite of adding, which is subtraction. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do it to the other side. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. So on the left-hand side, 2 cancels, and I get negative 3x is equal to 21 because 23 minus 2 is 21. Now I'm going to divide both sides, which is the opposite of multiplication. And we're dividing both sides by not just 3, but negative 3. And this could be the difference in a right or wrong answer. Just make sure you have negative 3 and not just 3. The 3's cancel, and my answer is, negative 7. I went past that a little bit too fast. So when you get that answer, negative 7, the best thing to do, the most appropriate thing to do in this case is to check your work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take x is negative 7 and plug it in to x. So instead of x, we replace it with negative 7, and then we just check the mathematics. The negative 3 times the negative 7 is, yes, positive 21. So I have positive 21 plus 2 is equal to 23. At this point, you say, oh, it's right because, yeah, I know that. But be sure to make sure the left side and the right side check out so they equal each other. So I have 23 on the left side and 23 on the right side. So my answer is correct. 23 does equal to 23. Let's look at another example. So this example is y divided by 2 minus 7 is equal to negative 33. So two operations in this problem, also subtraction and division. So I'm going to start with the inverse of subtraction, which is to add. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. The negative 7 and the positive 7 cancel out because they're opposites of one another. And once this happens, I get y divided by 2 is equal to negative 26. Make sure you're paying attention to your integral rules here. Now what's left is division. So the opposite of dividing is to multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. The multiplication, the 2's cancel when I'm dividing, and I'm left with y is equal to negative 52. Because when the signs are different, when you're multiplying, the answer is negative. So negative 52 is our answer, and we're going to check this one also. So we're going to plug in negative 52 for y, and negative 52 divided by positive 2 is negative 26. So now I get negative 26 minus 7 is equal to negative 33. Now we're going to check the left and the right side to make sure that they are actually equal to one another, and they are. So negative 33 is equal to negative 33, and my answer is correct. We're going to continue on with our Nearpod at this time. So click your Nearpod to go to the next page.